Ay, 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 I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel? Holy moly, guacamole in my pockets. What a blessing. Got it on me, I got options. Real stepper, check the shoes, get it poppin'. Eating good, feeling good. Where my hopping done at? Put it on a plate with some lemonade. That's the way we did it in the old days. Back then, mama said, get up, walk, go play. But you better not come home like that. Street lights, we was young racing. Street lights, carefree was the best time. Fast forward days, dreaming about the next time. When it's gonna happen again, cause I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? How you feel? Turn it up a notch, pop out clean room. Everyday celebration, take a trip vacation. You deserve a day, you deserve a day off. Working for too long, gotta kick back. Turn my cell phone off, wait till I get back. Ooh, yeah, I did that. Living my life with no regrets. So I titled, link up, pull up on me. We did chillin', at the spot. What time? Anytime, link up, pull up on me. We the coolin', the chill spot. What time? Party time. I just wanna have fun. Come and pick me up, meet me at the spot. Up all night till the sunrise. Pop back cool, get ready for the ride. Don't it feel good? Don't it feel good? Don't it feel?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, do we have a good one for you today? Oh, I'm here with my brother, the one and only, Francis Lee.
Yes, sir. Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's up, y'all? What's up, chat?
You look like you just got done with multiple grandmothers.
Listen, I've had a great morning. I mean, my brother Pete was telling me, he's like, I had a busy morning, man. I've been running around. I had a busy morning as well, but not as busy as Pete's. I just had a really good morning, man. I got a ton of sleep last night. I woke up early. You know, I worked out.
Like it.
You know, took the kids to school, man. I don't know. I'm high energy, and then knowing that we had this show with a lot to talk about.
Let me tell you something. We do have quite a bit to talk about today. I am actually excited for this one because, again, it's always fun when baseball's back. I mean, we are literally in the middle of everything right now for Yankee baseball. Spring training is right around the corner. There is some news. Brian Cashman decided to speak a little bit. Always fun because it makes for content. And there was definitely some golden nuggets in there that we will discuss today. But we got a lot of fun stuff on the way, man. Baseball is basically after Sunday. After Sunday, baseball's officially back. That's it.
Yeah.
After the Super Bowl's over.
You look around what's Florida and Arizona, and I mean more than half of every MLB team is already down where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, so
let me tell you guys something.
Crazy.
You know why I'm even excited today? Even more so? This is big. So my coffee has been upgraded.
Oh. Check him out. Check him out.
I think I might be saying his name right or wrong. I don't know. I got a frither.
A frother.
Is it a frother or a frother? So I was right.
Yes.
I told Gier it was a frother. Then I looked it up and I swear I saw it a frither. And I was like, a frither? Is that correct? A frother, yes. So I got a frother now, folks.
That's fancy.
So let me tell you,
getting bougie on us, Pete?
Francis, hold on. Watch this. Listen to this. This is what it does.
But the cream will rise to the top. Oh,
Let me tell you something. This is some creamy coffee. And I drink my coffee black. So every now and then putting creamer in it is different.
Listen,
This is different right here. Let me tell you something. That's some good cream. Hey, yo.
he said he likes it creamy. Ladies and gentlemen, that his words.
Now I really
words.
like my coffee like I like my woman. Now it's even more true. It's morning time, but we're
Happy
men,
Friday.
damn it. We're men.
That's right.
This is just how men talk, all right? Get used to it, baby.
Good morning.
Jira
man.
Jira just texted me too. She goes, see, made you say it wrong. That bitch.
Good
This
morning.
is what she
MVP.
does to me.
Top of the morning. Buenos dias.
Yeah, time. Go to bed. Go to sleep. MVP. All right?
Oh, hold
Making me
on.
mess up the words here.
Almost forgot. Happy birthday.
Whose birthday is it now?
Happy birthday to the one out of this world, new
Yeah,
number
miss-
having, switch hitting Dominican phenom, Jason Dominguez.
Oh, that's my little Martian.
He is 22 years old today, brother. 20.
Let me tell you something. I want to say I'm going to say that call this year 27 times.
Hey,
Oh, that's my little Martian. And you're going to just see him run around the bases. At Rookie of the Year, baby.
for those of y'all that are into betting, right? I don't know how many of y'all in the chat. I know we've gone over this a little bit in the past.
Okay,
Those of y'all who are into
little
betting,
bet action.
check what his over under on home runs are this season. All right. And if
Okay.
it's somewhere around 24, 25, 26, hammer that over, baby. Okay. Hammer that shit. All right. I want you to elbow drop that over. Okay.
By the way, Yankee prospects don't always get love. We know that, right?
Exactly.
We know that. I want to shout out Jim Callis.
Hey.
Because I think I think it was Jim Callis. They did a list, and Los is in the chat, so he may know what I'm talking about, but
Morning, Los.
they did a list of where they talked about each position of the top 10 prospects, who they would pick at that position.
Yeah.
He chose Jason Dominguez as one of his outfielders. So he obviously has a high belief in Jason Dominguez, and I'll be real with you, I am still to this day, and I don't care what anybody says, I am shocked how many Yankee fans do not believe in this kid. And there's going to be a lot of people in the chat saying, oh, come on, Pete. No. Go ahead and look around and see what people were saying about this kid late last year, early this year. And now that Soto's gone, Francis, they're saying, oh, my God, the Martian, I can't wait.
Yeah, now they remember that we had a young Dominican phenom on the team prior to trading for the one Juan Soto. But now he's in Queens. He wears funny looking jerseys now. Okay. He plays for the field named after a bank, not the team. Shouts out to them. Good morning to y'all over there.
Damn.
So we got to remember the one Dominican phenom that we still do have, and it's his birthday. Feliz cumpleaños, mi hermano. Sabe que Dios te lo bendiga siempre. And yo, home runs, bro. A lot of them. Hammer the over. And when you get that money, just remember Pete.
Just send Francis a cut.
No. Remember Pete, Jira, and me. Kev, remember us. That's all I'm saying. Not just me. All of us.
When it pays off big time, you guys know what to do. But I mean, there's some pretty prominent people in Yankee land out there that was like, he can't catch a fly ball.
No, you're not wrong.
I'm just
You're not
saying.
making it up. You're not
So
making it
don't go playing with Jason Johnson now. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it that way. Okay.
He said, don't go play with Jason.
No, you can't. You can't go act like you know what. I always loved the guy. All right. No. There wasn't love there. Stop it. Because look, did the play in left field look good? No, of course not. Nobody's saying anything about that. It didn't look good. But a lot of people turned their back on this dude and stabbed the knife in his back really quickly, including Yankees officials and the man we're going to talk about today, Brian Cashman. Because let's not forget, Cashman said the Yankees are a better team with Alex Verdugo. So my question to Brian Cashman is, why isn't Verdugo back?
Yeah.
Before we get any further, that's just my question. Why is Verdugo not back for?
Do you have, you know what my question is too? Speaking of Verdugo, Verdugo, Anthony Rizzo, these guys played in the World Series for the New York Yankees. How come they don't have contracts yet?
I don't know.
Crickets.
We got a super chat from my brother, the one, the only Ronald Hansley Jr.
Thank you for being a friend.
Hey, what's up, Rock?
Gabagool. He says, smacky to likey. Hitty, the sub. Happy birthday to the Martian. 30-30 season loading. That would be phenomenal. Happy belated birthday to the real MVP, Jira. NYYU to the moon. Oh, we're going to the moon, baby.
And let's go Knicks. And
let's go.
Knicks.
Oh, you know what? You know what? Let's go Knicks, baby. You know what? This is why I love the U. We could talk about anything. And I'm high as hell on coffee right now, tea. I've been on everything this morning because I've been all over the place.
It's that frother, bro.
Oh, the frother got the cream on top.
Change your life.
Let me tell you something. I gotta ask you this. I've heard a lot about this Jalen Brunson stuff, that he's the king of New York. Now, excuse my ignorance here. I'm ignorant when it comes to basketball. I've always said this. I do not know the NBA like that. So I go to my friends who do. Well, I'm about to say my friend who does because I don't have friends. But
why you say it like that, though? He said, I don't have friends.
Don't worry. There may be many stuff that come out of my mouth today, okay? That I'm telling you, I'm fucking hopped up on this shit right now.
Like,
got no friends.
There's 30 people who just like clutch their I thought I was his friend.
No, they're not. Just telling them right now. I'm breaking hearts this morning. Sorry. That's also what I'm doing. I'm also breaking hearts. Oh, the Knicks, in my opinion, are they the second most popular team in New York? Are they ahead of the Mets in that regard? They're not ahead of the Yankees.
I would go out on a limb and say that the Knicks are the second most popular team in this city. Yes.
Fair game.
Right behind the Yankees.
Right behind the Yankees.
Now,
so more so than the Giants also.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Giants football's had a rough couple of years.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There goes Ronald in the chat with the orange and blue. Love it. New York. I mean, tell you, Knicks Nation, stand up. And depending on the time of year too, because you know how New York is. New York is a melt, so it shifts. Like when we get to the dead of the fall and like there's nothing going on in free agency and stuff like that, and the Knicks are playing well, like this is 1,000% a Knicks city. There's no arguing about that. Now, the basketball season comes to an end and you're in July and August, like, bro, it's a Yankee city. We know how it is. The whole King of New York debate is a little bit.
I found it odd a little bit because I'm like, neither one of you guys have won.
I was gonna say, I think that's a little bit premature, and I think it's a little unfair.
Okay.
To Jalen Brunson. I love Jalen.
Okay.
I'm gonna start by saying that I love Jalen Brunson, and I think that he is literally at the center of what makes the Knicks so great today. Like when Jalen Brunson signed with the New York Knicks, that was the beginning of this beautiful time that we're living as Knicks fans. So I love him, and shouts out to him because
he's one of the best point guards in basketball.
He's one of the best in basketball, and I think he's severely underrated. And a lot of that does come with being a Knick. It's part of the game. You know what I mean? It's part of the game because they're a New York team. It's just New York. We're New York. Everybody loves to underrate us. They love to hate us. That's how it is. So Jalen gets a lot of that hate sometimes, but he's been putting up numbers, you know, in the last season or two, really, that are undeniable. But here's the thing. When you put him against Aaron Judge, who has won MVP awards, who now has a World Series trip at least on his resume, who has the record for home runs in the American League, who's also been doing it since 2017, it's not fair. It's not fair, and it is a little premature.
And the captain of the Yankees.
And it's also
there's a lot of things that,
Jalen Brunson was named captain of the Knicks. Just recently. But what I will say is this, Pete. Say the Knicks go to the finals this season or next season. If the Knicks were to win an NBA Finals in the next couple years, it's going to be real hard for Aaron Judge to hold on to that crown of King of New York. Because
that's what I was thinking too. Like without really knowing, and I know the Knicks are good. I know they're a good team. They got Towns and all these other guys. So I hear these names. I obviously, I know about some of these guys. I'm not a big follower of basketball, so I don't know it like that, but. When I heard that, that's the first thing I thought about.
So, it's like...
Well, that's the first thing I thought about is like winning. I'm like, all right, so I could understand if the Knicks do win, I know it's going to be wild in New York. Like the Knicks way, it's going to be wild.
Bro, it's also... And I guess that's why, even like transitioning it back to baseball, that's kind of why people kind of jump out the window with the Mets stuff so often.
Yeah.
Because the Mets get like really excited when they're like, oh, because if we go to the World Series, whatever. It's true. If the Mets win a World Series here in the next couple of years, they haven't won since '86.
Right. It's huge. It's huge for their franchise. It's huge for Cohen. It's huge for Soto. All those guys. Forget about it.
They make arguments. They joke about the Yankees, but it's like, and we're upset. But at the end of the day, we also have to realize too, like 2009 was 15, 16 years ago. There's teams that have been suffering almost 40 years, 40 plus years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so it's there's still other teams in this very city who, like, if they were to win a world championship, it would flip the city over. Literally.
Facts.
Like, if the
No
Knicks
doubt
win,
about it.
Pete, I don't know.
Pete.
I don't know, bro. It's crazy.
It's gonna be nuts.
Sign? I don't know.
Well, I hope they do. I hope they do. We got a couple of super chats here before we move on to our conversation about Brian Cashman. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it too, so everybody can just hear what he says.
Yeah.
Frank Cortez says, "Oh, here we go. The quotations coming in. Happy birthday to Dominguez, and I wish that Boone puts him on center field for God's sake." Kev, oh my God, my guy, just with the dono. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for the super duper. Angelo Productions says, like to hear your thoughts on the Arenado rumors. We'll definitely get to that. We can actually talk about that first and get that out the way, because I knew that was going to come up about Nolan Arenado. And I think this one's going to be really fast. I don't think this is going to be a super long conversation about Nolan. So it just recently came out. St. Louis Cardinals reporter came out and said that 3 teams are involved and they're re-engaging with the New York Yankees being one of those teams to go ahead and have a conversation about when it comes to Nolan Arenado. Yeah. Now, from the very first moment this was ever mentioned, I specifically said, I don't have an issue with this as long as they're taking on a contract. Exactly. Then I could understand the reason why you would make this move. Again, a little spoiler alert to what Brian Cashman has said. He's always wanted Jazz to be the second baseman. So I feel even more so now that Jazz is probably going to be the second baseman, however they figure this stuff out. Yeah. But I stand where I stood back then. I still feel like if Nolan somehow becomes a Yankee, it's because Stroman and maybe a reliever goes there. Maybe Stroman and Mark Leiter, let's just say, for him. That's about, and again, I don't know how much money the Cardinals are willing to take, but Nolan gets paid over $20 million. So if I'm the Yankees and you guys are that desperate, I'll take him, but you're taking at least Stroman's contract and a reliever. But they do say Boston's the favorite, by the way. Just FYI, Boston is apparently the favorite.
And my question with regard to the Arenado stuff is, okay, if you do take on Arenado, what happens with that deferred money?
Right.
Because he's got,
I don't know if that leaves. Yeah, I don't know how that goes.
He's got money that's deferred, and I think like the money that's deferred from the years that he was with the team. So like from 2022 through 2022, 2023, and 2024. That's $2 million a year deferred. So $6 million, the Cardinals will still be on the hook for that because he played with them. But like if he's traded to the Yankees per se, do we then owe him for the deferred money in 25
additional years,
like all the rest of it? That's my question. I'm sure something would have to be worked out with the money. Tony Rivers says. He said they pay the deferred money. They pay
anybody that defers, the bill just goes to you just say bill the Dodgers.
Yeah, I feel like
we're okay.
I feel like that would kind of be the situation where I'm like, let me see, like if I'm the Yankees, I'm like, let's how much sense this makes for us if we're going to be on the hook for that. Now, if they're not, if the Cardinals keep that deferred money, and then it's a matter of, like you said, maybe sending Stroman over there. He has a $21 million salary in 2025. Stroman has 18. The Yankees would take on $3 million in that deal and get Arenado. Yeah. Right. So that's financially is not a problem. In 2027, it's what? No. 26 is 16. 27 is 15. And
it goes down, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's 21 this year, 16 the following, and then 15 in the final year.
And to be fair, as we get closer, we're going to actually have our Farm Report, that's last year, Farm to the Show. Man, one thing I know Los is going to do, it's going to be me and Los on the very first show, guys. I just want to give everybody a heads up on this too. We're going to break down the Yankees' top prospects. And, Los is the guy. I'm not the knowledge of that one. That is Los. I'm just hosting. But Los is going to drop knowledge on you guys like you can't even imagine. And the reason why I bring it up right now is if the Yankees did get Nolan Arenado in that regard, that almost sets up a perfect scenario where Roderick Arias, where George Lombard Jr. would be just about ready, if not already ready, to take over in that spot. So, and look, there's a lot that has to be said because I'll be real with you guys. I think Anthony Volpe has to hit because those guys are looking like the real deal. I know I'm bigger on Arias than Lombard, and we'll get to that. We'll have that little bit of a debate there, but I also think George Lombard is phenomenal. So I think both of these guys are probably the best Yankee prospects overall, and we're going to have that conversation here. That show will be live for everybody. I can't wait for it, but I don't know, Francis. I'm like, it's not my favorite option, but what's out there? Like what is out there? They would have the best infield defense probably in baseball.
Yeah, I think it'd be tough to find another team that you like better. I mean, there's teams that could put up probably something that's close to equal, but I mean, it'd be arguably tied for the best. I think with Arenado, when I look at it, it's not even, honestly, bro, it's not even so much about the money thing. Like I said, the thing that worries me with the money more is the deferred money, and what happens with that. But I'm sure that's something that they negotiate pre-trade, and I don't know that the Yankees would be taking that deferred money. I think that would be stupid. Even though it's not much, it's like $2 million, $3 million a year. It's still $2 million, $3 million in dead money. And look what they've done with $2 and $3 million in the past. Right?
I wonder if they could work something out where they would restructure that contract a little bit.
Maybe
do it as like a signing, that money as a signing bonus.
Yeah. Or maybe the funny thing is maybe they wouldn't even have to. Maybe St. Louis is like, no, we deferred it. Like, we're paying that.
Okay. Then that would make
the contract.
More sense.
We'll be paying him as deferred. Like, that's not an issue. We'll pay it.
Yeah.
Okay, that might be the thing. Cool. I hope it is. My thing with the Arenado trade is more so, right? Okay, you bring Arenado over, you know what you're going to get defensively. Offensively, though, there is a reason where you can have worry. The numbers have dipped. There has been a bit of a decline.
Correct.
And you're bringing
Pull
him
hitter
for the next 3 seasons. He'll be 36 at the end of that contract. Now, he could bounce back. Same way we're saying with Goldie, right? Like, is it possible? Yeah, it's possible, right? He's young enough to bounce back, and we've seen similar things in the past. But
maybe a winning team.
Yeah, that's also a big thing, and we spoke about that with Goldie. That he's coming from that same lineup that Goldschmidt was in, and it's really hard to kind of come out of a rut when you're playing on a team that's like really bad. Like it's not,
especially an organization like the Cardinals, who have been a great organization for years.
Exactly.
And if you heard recently, Jim Edmonds talked about them. He's like, they're not the same team anymore. Like, they don't even welcome us anymore. Saying they don't want to hear from us, which is really bad.
Really
and to
sad.
be fair, I hate doing this, and I'm not comparing the organizations at all, but it's sad that legends are being turned away. Reggie Jackson talked about this with the Yankees, that they don't value his opinion. They don't value the older guys' opinions anymore. They kind of just value the calculator boys, and that's it.
Which is why he went to Houston.
So Jim Edmonds did recently talk about that too, by the way, about how bad, the Cardinals organization basically has become. And the best thing they could do, and shout out to Yadi Molina, but get him back in the fold somehow. I mean, I don't know how that hasn't happened yet. It's kind of shocking to me, but whoever's running the Cardinals right now, they just seem to be not doing too good of a job with such a great organization. But yeah, I will see what happens over the next couple of days. It looks like Boston is the favorite, and I've said this for a minute. I think Boston is an amazing fit for Nolan Arenado because he's such a dead pull hitter. I think that average would skyrocket for him, and it's probably the best place for him to go for his career. He came to the Yankees. I'm really focused on his defense and hopeful that he can, add a bit of production for us. But other than that, I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. But let's get into a big part of our show here, and that is Brian Cashman.
He's enjoying that coffee today.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. Let me tell you something. Anybody in the chat uses a frother? I really want to know.
That's that bougie stuff right there, man. That's some fire stuff.
What's happening to me?
Hey, you're living life, brother. This is good.
Anybody? Can somebody relate to me in this chat? Carlos said, of course. So I'm assuming Carlos uses a frother.
He said, of course I do.
He does.
He said, of course I do. But he's
salute. Salute, Los. Tony Rivera said that's a personal question. Hey, yo.
You want to know if I froth my coffee? I mean, come on.
Damn. I do that fantastic. Look at this. I love this. Carl said, weak. Damn. It's just a frother.
Listen, Ain't
It's a
nothing wrong.
frother.
Ain't nothing wrong with adding a little bit of bouge. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man. What do
Ain't
you want me
nothing
to do?
wrong. Okay, it's
little
good.
frother
It's
action.
good. Elevate yourself. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it.
Enjoy your coffee.
Enjoy
Okay.
your coffee. All right. Well, here we go. Let's take a listen to Brian Cashman, guys. I'm gonna go in and out from the actual video to us, and we'll go from there. Here we go.
Now, Brian, let's talk about some of the latest news. You've come to terms with free agent pitcher Tim Hill. Of course, he was with you last year. Let's talk about the value that he adds to that bullpen, not only as a lefty, but how unique his delivery is.
Yes, he definitely comes at you, from a hitter's perspective, from a weird spot, right? A different angle, a different arm slot that you're not used to seeing. So it's definitely an alternative that we feel it's a benefit to have to throw with Aaron Boone with his bag of choices out there. And listen, we also saw last year he showed he's not afraid of pitching in this environment. He throws strikes, he gets soft contact.
Soft contact.
Again,
They love that.
There's no stage is too big for him, and that's got a lot of value here if you're the New York Yankees.
So, Brian, I'm wondering, you're always working the phones, you and your staff, I understand that, but do you feel with spring training starting on the 11 pitchers and catchers reporting that this is a finished product right now? Are you happy with this team going into the season?
You can never say. I'm excited about what, we put together. I think, listen, we're more athletic. I feel like we've upgraded in a lot of areas that needed to be tended to. I think we had a great team last year, but again, it was an imperfect team at the same time. And as we try to, bang out the rough edges, I feel like we were able to do that in some cases. And looking forward to seeing, hopefully a 2025 version of the Yankees that a little bit more athletic, a little bit better defensively, that can really still pitch. We've got a bunch of strikeouts in that bullpen. And added the obviously important starting pitcher and Max Fried to the rotation. So there's a lot of areas that I think we've been able to address. So I'm excited to see what it looks like and if it plays the way we hope.
I'm going to pause it right there real quick because I do want to address that. Yeah. I agree. I agree. There's nothing right there with Brian Cash that I disagree with. The Yankees are going to be, on paper, we know they got to play the games. But, I've thrown this on the screen multiple times. Hell, I think I can actually throw it back on the screen for you guys. Let me see if I have it here. But, Francis, let's look. We'll talk about the bullpen, but look at this rotation. I mean, let me get this music off, my bad.
Oof.
Look at this rotation. I mean, you look at what the Yankees have right now. I mean, you got Schmitty, Rodon, Cole, Fried, but then you go and look at the numbers. And thank you again to Francis for telling me which numbers he loves pitching. So I go to Francis for stuff like that. And he was like, look, these are the numbers you want to look at. But look at the Ks per 9. This is something that stood out to me.
You see that?
Yeah, man. And I'm happy you utilize that. You were like, no, use K per 9 in there. Because I was going so old school, win-loss, ERA, and whatever else.
You know why I moved away from win-loss? Because I still think wins are an important stat. Like, I'm not full analytics like the calculator boys have like completely discredited win-loss. But the reason I say go K9, the reason I really like K9, because that tells me how many outs does this guy get me on his own? And when you look at these numbers, there's 27 outs in a baseball game, right? There's 27. These guys are giving you they do a third by themselves.
Facts. So that's why that's so big.
Yeah, you look at that, it's just like, wow. Like,
this rotation could be real. Like, this rotation legitimately could be very, very special. I mean, if this rotation lived up to its potential, this might be one of the better Yankees rotations of all time.
Well, you're not wrong when you say that. And then when you think about it like this is a rotation that would it surprise anybody if this team gets to the playoffs and the conversation isn't so much the offense, but how this is a very pitching heavy team. And to beat this team, you're going to have to hit because it's a pitching dominant team. You're going to have to beat Cole. You're going to have to beat Fried. You're going to have to beat Rodon, Heel, Schmidt. Like that wouldn't shock me if at the end of the year, the conversation going into October is, well, if you're playing the Yankees, your biggest obstacle, you're going to worry about Judge and whatever, but your biggest obstacle is how getting your lineup to find some kind of production. Because with guys that can get a third of the outs on their own and then a solid defense behind them for the other 17 outs, it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
Bro,
it can't be understated, man.
The team's number 5 starter right now is Clark Schmidt, and Clark Schmidt pitched to under a 3 ERA last year, and for the first 2 months of the year, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Exactly.
So there is an extremely high expectation for this club, and it's funny that you say that. That maybe in the postseason we're talking about, well, they're pitching. The pitching is going to carry it.
Yeah.
The reason I did a video the other day saying, why am I confident in this team? The first thing I talked about was look at the pitching. I mean, how can you not be? Brian Cashman also mentions we added strikeouts to the bullpen. Don't forget how important that is. They didn't have that last year as much. Nope. One thing we talked about is the Yankees bullpen's kind of like put the ball in play. And with bad defense, that's not a great scenario to have. Now, if you got one of those guys, that's fine. And Tim Hill is a heavy ground ball guy.
Yes.
But Fernando Cruz, to me, he's the one I'm looking at Fernando Cruz this year to be a huge part of the bridge to Weaver and Devin Williams. So I can't wait to see. And I agree with Brian Cashman in that regard. They've done a great job in getting this pitching straight. The bullpen has been improved. The rotation, forget about it. Now we will get to the rest of what Cashman has to say.
So having said that, as we sit here today, Brian, is there, in your opinion, one biggest strength for the Yankees going into spring training?
I'd still think our pitching would, be a strength as I think you would hope it to be. I think obviously when you have a rotation with all the names that we have, with the addition of Max Fried to top it off, and a bullpen that now, last year was the first year that even though our bullpen performed, it wasn't maybe as good a bullpen as I was used to having personally. And it's on paper right now, but I think we've addressed a lot of areas in the pen so far, especially where the strikeouts are coming. We can bring guys in that can strike people out. Whether it's the Devin Williams or obviously a Fernando Cruz, or we got Johnny Loizaga coming back at some point. Obviously, when he finishes off his rehab, that's exciting. The full year Mark Ryder maybe. He brings a lot of strikeouts. So ultimately, and I'm sure I'm missing somebody, but at the end of the day, I think that the strikeouts in the bullpen, along with Max Fried to the rotation, pitching was already a strength last year, and I think it will remain to be.
All right, so let's piggyback on that rotation by getting Fried. That's 6 starting rotation pitchers that you have now, and one of them is Marcus Stroman. It looks like he is the 6th starter. Are you looking to trade him, Brian? And if you don't trade him, do you worry that an established veteran would feel comfortable being a 6th starter? I know anything could happen in spring training with injuries and by performance, but the way it looks now, it looks like he's number 6. Does that concern you moving forward?
Well, we're going to have to see how it plays out, obviously. I think first and foremost, he's a better pitcher than what we saw in the second half. I think our defense let him down significantly. We were unable to convert many double plays that should have been converted last year, and that hurt him more than most. If you look at his home road splits, Yankee Stadium and that short right field porch, I think, bit him a little bit as well, because we added all those extra outs. We didn't have a great defensive team behind him last year, and I think it affected him not mentally as much as just by performance-wise. The game, he wasn't, he's not a strikeout guy. He's a contact guy, and I think way too many times in the games he pitched, we were given extra outs. He was going to have to pitch through an inning with 4 or 5 outs rather than 3, and ultimately a big inning would show up that would wind up on his ledger, unfortunately. So his home road splits obviously are a lot different. He's certainly a better pitcher last year if you look at the numbers on the road. So ultimately, I feel like we as a team kind of let him down with what we did behind him on his starts. And not sure what's going to transpire. He's here, and we're looking forward to him, contributing like he did last year, and how it shakes out, and whether, he's in the rotation or not. I think that all remains to be seen. As you know, you always open the season when February hits, all of a sudden you start seeing around the camps, and we certainly hope it stays away from our camp, but unfortunately injuries do hit, and you can't have enough quality pitching, and Stroh is still definitely a quality pitcher.
All right, so that's where that clip ends, and it's perfect timing as he talks about Marcus Stroman and what he could do. But
yeah,
look, I'm gonna be real with you on this. It sounds like Brian Cashman hyping up a pitcher he is actively trying to trade. That's what I get from it.
I I agree.
Because there's a lot of things he said there that's kind of contradictory. Is you said, you feel Yankee Stadium left field hurt him because we gave him extra outs, understandably, but then why did you get him? If that's the case and you were worried about Yankee Stadium left field with a pitcher like him that doesn't really overpower you, you would assume it was because of the ground balls, because he's a ground ball pitcher. Understandable. I get that. But that just didn't really make sense to me in that regard of talking about what left field really hurt him. Well, right field, excuse me. I don't know. Just sounds like somebody's just trying to move.
It definitely sounds like that. And again, I said this, a couple months back when that narrative first kind of surfaced about the defense behind Stroman being, a big proponent to why his numbers looked the way that they did. That's not entirely false. It's true. You can go back and look at some of those starts where he gave up a lot of runs, and you the numbers are there. I mean, there were a lot of extra outs given to teams in some of those starts. But here's the thing. He is that kind of pitcher. He is a pitcher where he pitches to soft contact. He gets guys to put the ball in play. Guys behind him have to kind of make those plays for him to find the success. Marcus Stroman is not a strikeout pitcher. He is more of a finesse guy. He doesn't throw hard. He's not going to blow somebody away. He's going to put a pitcher kind of in a situation where if he's on his game, the at bat is uncomfortable. So what happens is he'll get a hitter in between, and they end up missing a pitch that if they can time up, they'll crush. But the issue is they're in between. It's very similar to like Nestor Cortez, where Nestor Cortez does not throw hard. He's not a hard thrower, but Nestor Cortez does all these different things and all these hitches in the motion and everything that mess with hitters' timing. And that's why you'll see a guy like Shohei Ohtani not have good numbers against Nestor, because he gets the hitter in between. Stroman is very similar in that's his goal out there. He's going to pitch to finesse, mess with your timing, try to get you in between, get you to put the ball in play weakly, but then he needs those plays to be made behind him. And if you're the Yankees, if you're Cashman, it does kind of seem a little weird to say that now, because when you signed him, you knew the defense that you were putting on the field behind him.
Yep.
So
agreed.
It does kind of seem a little off. And then to look at it this year, it would be kind of funny that, right? But it also is kind of very Yankees that they would trade him in the year that they have the defense that would support him best.
Right.
Like
exactly.
That to me, that kind of seems like a very Yankee thing to do. And I'm not saying
Smarter
it's
Yankees.
wrong. I'm not saying it's the wrong move. I'm not saying that, oh no, they need to keep Stroman because whatever. No.
Right.
I don't think any team in Major League Baseball needs an $18 million number 6 starter.
Agreed.
I don't.
Agreed. All right, let's keep it on going with Brian Cashman. Here we go.
Or either for Stroman or for somebody else on the team to try and improve the team. Is your job easier right now in trying to do that, or once spring training hits and the players are in camp and things are developing and maybe players become more available?
Yeah, I'd say a lot. Currently, the free agent market's kind of, still hasn't finished off. There's a lot of players that have better quality that are still available. So in terms of, I think if you're in the marketplace looking for starting pitching or anything specifically, but starting pitching, there's been a number of quality starters that still have been available and remain on the marketplace. And so the question comes down, do you trade for somebody, or do you sign somebody that you don't have to give up talent for, or try to find a match for, that way. So because the inventory that's remained, I think it's stagnated a little bit of the trade side of things. And so I think every year is different, and it all depends on what's available in the marketplace on the free agent side. And if there's a surplus, then that takes a drag on the trade values. And then and if there's obviously a limit of talent, then it's going to push teams into the trade front. And you can certainly make trades in the spring, no doubt about it. Teams usually want to wait and see what they've got and how it shakes out. But once the injuries start happening and needs start piling up, then obviously a lot can happen then there too.
Okay.
Brian, you've mentioned defense a lot. You have really improved the defense of this team. I just want you to walk us through the decision-making process of having Jason Dominguez. Aaron Boone has said he's going to play left. Bellinger is going to play center. Dominguez certainly seems more comfortable and has played a lot center field. He wasn't comfortable in left last year. Why are you going that way rather than have Bellinger, who said he's very, very amenable to actually playing anywhere, left, center, or first? Why are you going with Dominguez in left rather than center?
That's it.
I think it's still all open in the air. I know Booney's addressed that. I think his preference is definitely left, and and we'll see how it all shakes out. And, I don't disagree. The primary position that clearly Jason Dominguez is used to playing is center. And, I wouldn't rule out, again, if he doesn't handle left, then we'd have to look at center. It just, the difference now is we're going to have a nice runway of 6 weeks to kind of take a look and inventory that as it plays out, and how he looks and stands up defensively and mostly in the sun of Florida, which is the hardest to play under regardless, whether it's left, center, or right, because most of these games down here are going to be day games. So we're going to get a chance to see. But if, whatever anybody says in January or early February, you always have a chance to kind of take the eraser out and change it up if need be. And so I think going into things, there's certain preferences you want to see. And then when the dust settles, the player's just going to have to earn it and then re-earn it every day. So in Jason's case, he's going to have to earn becoming a starter here, just because we hope that, that lane is there for him. We hope he takes it. Doesn't mean he's going to. He's going to have to earn it. And so we're excited to see what that talented young man can do with regular reps at the major league level. And I know Booney's committed currently to play him in left and see how that shakes out. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out. But we do have the flexibility with Belly if we need to flip it, because he's really athletic and he can play left, he can play center, he can play first, he can do a lot of things. And that was one of the interests of why we kind of.
All right. I'm going to move on from that because that's the end of him talking about Jason Dominguez. But
we got to,
I just don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't understand a lot of different things because I tell you this, I'll say this right now. Gleyber Torres was a horrible second baseman for a long time. Did the Yankees ever consider that Anthony Volpe and Oswald Peraza could be up the middle? And they'll move one of those guys out of, especially Anthony Volpe, to move him at a shortstop? Never considered it. They probably never.
I was gonna say we can't say whether or not they considered it. We can say definitively that they never did it.
They never did it. They never even attempted it. There was never even a pinch of anything like that out there.
Leads us to think that it wasn't even a consideration because you never tried it.
And the reason I bring that up is, why would you not put your top prospect in the best position to succeed when the guy you got is Cody Bellinger, who's a phenomenal defender? You could put Cody Bellinger just about any position.
Any of those,
obviously, any of the three that he plays, and he's gonna play it to a Gold Glove level. Why would you simply just not say, look, we don't want this kid to worry about defense in left field, Yankee Stadium left field. Look, center field's great. You got to worry about catching a fly ball. Get the cutoff, hit the cutoff man. Know where you are in the field. Learn center field. You got two very good defenders cutting you. You got one in right and one in left. Let's put you in a prime situation to have you succeed. Why is that not the definite thing? And on top of that, he just shoots down what his manager just said. The great communication of the Yankees yet again on display. It's hilarious. They preach communication more than anybody. I don't hear organizations come out talking, well, our communication. But you guys always just sound ridiculous. Can't get on the same page, it seems like.
I look at this and I look at this as another instance where I feel like the Yankees are just trying to be a little too cute where they don't have to be.
Exactly.
It's one of those things where it's like, I get it if it was a situation like last year where you had a couple of guys that played a couple positions, but you weren't really going to have it shake out in a way where you can put everybody in positions where they're true to those positions. In 2025, there's really no excuse to play someone out of position. That's where we are. You went out and got a first baseman in Paul Goldschmidt. You can move Jazz back to second base and get a third baseman. Anthony Volpe is your shortstop. Austin Wells is a natural catcher. You have Judge back in right field, where he is not only a Gold Glover, he can be a Platinum Glover in right field. Jason Dominguez has been a true center fielder his entire career thus far. And Cody Bellinger, like you just finished saying, plays an above, a very, very respectable center, left, and first base. So
Correct.
Why is it a question of, well, we want to put him there? I get it. Like when you look at it on paper, it doesn't sound horrible because on most teams, center field is where you're going to put like your better guy. But on the New York Yankees in Yankee Stadium, left field shakes out to be probably the most difficult position in the outfield.
Yankee Stadium, no doubt about it.
And we know this. Brian Cashman knows this. Aaron Boone knows this. Left field in Yankee Stadium is the hardest outfield position out of the three, right? Center field comes in a close second, but left field is harder. So why not put the best guy out of the two available in left field?
It just seems like a no-brainer.
Give the young kid the comfort spot. Because when you're calling up a young player, when you're calling up a prospect, then the key and the name of that game is comfort. We need to make this guy comfortable, because the more comfortable you make them, the quicker they fall in place.
Yeah.
When you make these guys uncomfortable, and we saw this with Gleyber Torres, might I add, right? Who's somebody whose name is going to come up in a little bit here.
Yeah.
But we saw this with Gleyber, right? The Yankees maybe didn't do their best in making him comfortable right away because they moved him. It was back. It was, oh, you're shortstop. Oh, second base. It's shortstop. There was a lot of back and forth. Then in the lineup, you're batting here. No, you're batting here. No, you're doing this. We saw it with Volpe last year. Oh, you're batting here. Yo, you're doing well in the bottom. Okay, we'll put your lead off. Oh, wait, that's not working. Okay, we'll drop you back down. Like the Yankees do a lot of tinkering and a lot of whatever. And I feel like sometimes they try to get a little too cute in areas that they just don't have to. Like,
and that's, I think that's the point right there, right? Is the why behind it? Like, what is the plus here? Like, why even try it when if it's me, I say, hey, Cody, we're gonna get you used to left field at Yankee Stadium. Left field's gonna be your prime position. From what we're seeing now, obviously things could pop off in spring training that might need to adjust. We're seeing you as the left fielder in the club. I agree with you 150% when it comes to Jason. Look, they did this with Anthony Volpe, and there was a question here, super chat by Bobby. He says, did Volpe earn it? To Volpe's credit, I do believe that Anthony Volpe earned it. I think he went off in spring training, and he looked phenomenal, earned his spot. Here's the one difference that I don't like. If you remember when they had the conversation with Anthony Volpe about making a team, Aaron Boone said something that made a lot of sense. He goes, look, we want your development to continue at the major league level.
Yes.
Basically what he's saying right there is, look, we know there's going to come with hiccups. We know there's going to be bumps in the road.
Yes.
But we want you to do it at the major league level. Why would you simply not pull Jason Dominguez aside and say, look, we're going to make this as best as possible because we really want you a part of this team's future. We're going to put you in center field and we're going to leave you there. Let's get comfortable. Let's get comfortable with the team. Let's work on some things in spring training, and let's hit the ground running. We're going to have that development happen at the major league level also. We know there could be bumps in the road, but we're going to do it at the major league level. We believe you belong there. What is so hard? And again, I would love somebody to say to me, yeah, but Cody Bellinger is better in center field. Cody Bellinger is better defensively than everybody in the Yankees outfield.
Yeah.
Put him in left.
Yeah.
You had trouble in left field with Dominguez. Just get rid of it. Destroy it.
It's
ball it up and throw it away and say, put him in center.
And I think that's the issue, right? And you kind of just opened my eyes with the way you said it. I think that the Yankees are looking at it as where is Cody Bellinger best? Like, where
that's
is
exactly what it is.
Him? And I think that that's the wrong angle to look at it. I think instead of looking at it as, well, where's the best place to play Cody? Like, that's what where can we best utilize Cody? I think the question needs to be, where can we best utilize the kid that we're calling up?
Exactly.
That's getting his first full season in the majors. That needs to be the conversation. Where's the best place for Jason? Because Cody is a puzzle piece that fits a lot of different places. But Dominguez may not be that at this part of his career, at this stage that's very early in his career. The only thing that also came to my head too, while I was listening to you, is the only thing where I could see this making some sort of sense to them, and the reason it doesn't make sense to us because we wouldn't know this, is if they have a plan long-term in center field. And that is why they want to make Jason, or they're hoping that they can make Jason the left fielder for the future, because they have an idea for center field that we're just not privy to yet.
Oh, we are. Spencer Jones.
Well,
we are.
Yeah. Well,
And the Yankees would favor Spencer Jones. Trust me.
exactly. Well, so I didn't want to come. I didn't want to come out.
I'll just say it. I'll just say it. I'll
But
say I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
The Yankees will favor Spencer Jones as they did with Anthony Volt. They will favor Spencer Jones. That's simple.
So then that's there. You have it then, right? If this is where they're looking forward to in the future of an outfield of Jones in center, Dominguez in left, Judge in right. If that's their plan, then yes, they're going to do everything that they humanly can to force Jason to left.
And can I also say this? I think Spencer Jones could be so good defensively that he's almost along the lines of you could put him anywhere in the outfield.
Kind of like
So
Cody
I almost feel like that shouldn't be how they look at it. But knowing the Yankees, that is probably how they're kind of shaping it up, because instead of focusing on this season, I could very well see the Yankees going, Spencer Jones is going to be the center fielder, get Dominguez ready for left field. And look, if it works out and plays out that way, great. I've said it on record. I think Spencer Jones is going to have a huge season.
Yeah.
I think with the adjustments he made late last year, I'm really excited about seeing him in spring training.
He's poised for a big year.
I think he's poised for a major year. The guy's power is off the friggin' charts. He could be an absolute animal.
If what you're saying is true, though, right? And Los is right there in the chat. He can call us out if we're wrong. If Jones's glove is what it's supposed to be, then he'd be fine and left also.
Agreed. And that's my point.
Why are we playing? It also kind of brings me back to a conversation that we had about Volpe a little while back.
Yeah.
Right. Where it's like, is the reason that they won't move him off short, does it have less to do with his ability to play the position and more to do with the marketing of the team? And if you start once you start bringing in that, now you're having a different conversation, because obviously center field is a much more marketable position than left.
Of course.
And
for the Yankees, it is even more so.
Exactly. When you go down the history of the Yankee center fielders and stuff like that, whatever, which is why Judge wanted to go to, let's call a spade a spade. This is why Judge wanted to stay in center field, because he knows that's what he wants. It's one of those premier positions. Mike Trout plays center. Like everybody, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Griffey was in center. This is a thing. This is a thing. So could that be it? Could that be it, that they want to save it for Spencer Jones when Jones comes up or whatever? They say, no, center field's right there. It's yours, buddy. We made Jason a left fielder. That could be it. Maybe that's what it is. They have a plan for center. They don't want to disrupt it.
Yep, no doubt about it. But let's go ahead and get to the final comments of Brian Cashman, guys, and we will get to your voicemails. But let's go ahead.
As you said, 6 weeks of spring training can reveal a lot for a team, and it might reveal, and we've talked about this on our Hot Stove show, who your leadoff hitter could be. We've kicked around the names Bellinger, Volpe, maybe even Jason Dominguez. Is that feasible? Do you see yourself as having a legitimate leadoff hitter right now?
It's certainly something we've talked about internally, and obviously Aaron Boone. In the end of the day, it's his decision to make on what he wants to do. I know he's told me what he's leaning to. I don't know. I don't necessarily read the papers, so I don't know if he's publicly revealed what he's leaning towards. But I know what he's leaning towards, and I think obviously if he hasn't revealed it publicly, I don't want to say it, but I know we'll take advantage of the spring and see how it looks. And but listen, he's going to have a number of choices. The bottom line is we have a nice, well-rounded, balanced lineup, and he's going to have an array of choices of how he wants to stack these guys. That's the most important thing.
Brian, there are no perfect teams. It's just unrealistic to think that. When you look at the moves that you've made, you've put together an excellent team. But there's two positions I want to ask you about. Are you okay with what you have in your organization as a backup catcher? And are you okay with the three guys we keep hearing, one of them being the third baseman when the season opens against Milwaukee?
So on the first, on the backup catcher, it was tough. It was a tough decision to make to trade Trevi. It's extremely hard worker, really capable, plug and play guy, ready to go. He's a free agent at the end of the year. And once Austin Wells, kind of emerged and took the starter's role, and if somebody rang my bell a little bit, and compelled me, I would consider, because we have a lot of good catching depth that we're excited about. I'm comfortable that we have some guys that, with some growing pains, could be really good for us, and could be really good for us right out of the gate. So we're gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. But I felt like with the 6 months left on Trevi, prior to free agency, and him being now relegated to the backup role, and the opportunity to bring up Fernando Cruz in here, who's got one of the most lethal strike out pitches in the game with that split finger. I felt that in the control years, I just felt like it was something that was worth doing. And so I look forward to some of these young guys in. We were able to kind of balance that deal a little bit by getting Alex Jackson back in the deal. He's a great defensive catcher. He fits the prototypical, role of a backup, and he has been a major league backup already. Obviously, the bat's obviously not something. If the bat was as good as it was supposed to be, then he'd be an everyday guy. But he's on a non-roster invite. Certainly not committed to being the official backup. We get the chance to see how he plays first and foremost, and how he handles our staff, and how he competes with the other guys. And so, between some of our young guys who are pushing up the ranks, I think we should be covered. But yeah, there's a risk there regardless, because Trevi was, someone that not so long ago was an everyday starting catcher in the big league.
Let me just pause it right there real quick, because this just reminded me of something too. Mm-hmm. The same stuff we've talked about with Jason Dominguez, the Yankees did to Austin Wells. I don't think people should forget that. They also put Austin Wells in a bad position to succeed. And he was failing very early on in the year, that many fans were like, this guy's not good. What type of prospect is this? You remember those conversations. There was a lot of people that were like, this guy sucks. Like, what do you guys...
I remember NYU Spaces. He was the biggest topic.
He was the big topic about how bad Austin Wells is. So that was another prime example.
So hard for Austin Wells to be an everyday guy. Like, a lot of people, we were like, kind of like at the forefront and kind of made to be like the poster children for like the Austin Wells stuff. People were like attacking us a little bit, like, well, why are you going so hard for Wells to be an everyday starter? Like, what has he shown you? He hasn't shown it to you like yet. And we kind of were like, they're not giving him the room to show it.
They basically made Austin Wells, who was their top catching prospect and one of the better catching prospects in baseball, they made him a backup. They were basically just like...
He was playing 2-3 days a week, Pete.
That's it. And this is a guy, again, that plays every single day in the minor leagues.
Exactly.
He won the job, and the Yankees made a real backup catcher, who's always been a backup catcher, be the starter, basically, over him. And they refused to just say, let's let him go out there and do his thing. Now, was there a couple of starting pitchers that were like, nah, Trevi's our guy, I want to throw to Trevi? Whatever. But you do got to break a young player in a lot better than that. That is setting somebody up for major failure. And it was. And if Trevi didn't get hurt and all the other stuff happened during those times and Austin Wells got a legit chance to play, you might be looking at it right now going, I mean, I'm not high on Austin Wells. What are we expecting? The guy was third in Rookie of the Year voting. Third.
Yeah.
This is a really, really good player.
He was very much in that conversation when you were getting towards like the end of the season. I remember seeing those conversations going out, and Austin Wells was right in the thick of it. And shouts out to him, bro. Like he found a way in a very difficult situation.
Persisted, correct.
Very difficult.
And shout out to the Macho King who brings us up. He's right. The Red Sox ended Trevi in New York. They did. The game when Alex Cora just let his team run wild, it was like a week or so after that where the Yankees themselves were like, all right, we got to let Austin Wells play a little more because this guy can't throw it. He has a rubber arm now. All right, let's continue on. Here we go.
And how about third base, Bri?
Third base, obviously, we're going to switch back and forth. I don't know which way we're going between Jazz at third, Jazz at second, Jazz, depending on who's on the mound. Obviously between, Peraza, Cabrera, DJ LeMahieu, Vivas. We're going to have some guys taking some reps trying to earn a spot, whether it's at second or third. The flexibility that the athleticism of Jazz provides gives us, the ample opportunity to play it out. I'll be comfortable when somebody solidifies that, or whether it's a platoon situation or it's a solo shot. When I acquired Jazz to be our second baseman and move Gleyber to third. The rest of last year, Booney wanted to do it the other way. He moved Jazz to third after we got him, and Gleyber to second, and kept Gleyber at second because Gleyber didn't want to move to third and was unwilling. So Jazz wound up getting baptized in a position he never had played it well enough, and now gives us a little bit more flexibility entering the 25 year. I don't know how it's going to play out. I do think we can have one of these candidates emerge or multiple guys emerge into a platoon situation at worst or a solo shot at best. And if not, there's always the marketplace to play around with as we move forward to.
All right, that's it. So that wraps up everything from Brian Cashman, and this is obviously going to be one of the big parts of our conversation today.
This is the big point here, yeah.
This is definitely the big point, and I just wanna start on one thing he said. In my opinion, the best player internally for the Yankees at third base is Oswald Peraza. Again, another guy who has never really been given a fair shake from the New York Yankees. Whether you could sit there or not and go, yeah, Pete, but he hasn't really performed. Look, has he ever not performed over a 2-month span? Has he ever not performed over a 3-month span? We don't know that. He's never been given that chance. Now, if you want to look at it and go, I want to go with the safest bet. Yeah, you may say, look, we're paying money to DJ LeMahieu, give him every chance that you can give. As a business side of it, I could see them saying that as a business side of it. But to me, Peraza is a guy that if he comes in healthy, he comes in strong, he's obviously working very, very hard. If you follow him online, he's always working hard. Defense is not a problem. We've seen him at third base, and he looked really, really good at third base. Mm-hmm. The kid could hit. I don't care what anybody says. Oswald Peraza can hit. You got to give him a chance to perform. If I was entering this year and somebody said, this is your list of your club, what is your infield? My infield's Peraza, Volpe, Jazz, Goldie. That's the infield I go with. If those are my only options. I'm sorry. I'm just not giving DJ LeMahieu that chance. Now, is DJ LeMahieu a guy off the bench that can play? No problem. Yeah, I would. Late inning defense. Look, start him every now and then. No, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm not handing. Remember he talked about earning? Yeah. I'm sorry. It's what have you done for me now? It's not what have you done for me years ago. He hasn't shown nothing to earn a position. I'm sorry. The only thing that makes him earn a position is his salary. Let's be honest. That's it. It's the only thing. That's it.
You have to play the potential, not the accolades. And I think
bingo.
That's an issue that when I look at my beloved Yankees, a lot of times I don't know that we always go that route. I feel like sometimes, yeah, we maybe favor past accolades and the guy's name and whatever, when it's like, what does that matter for me in 2025? I want to look at the team and in 2025 play the best potential player at that position. Yeah. And right now, if you're going on what we had in-house and you're not going to go outside, you're not going to add, you're not going to trade. Just looking at what we had in-house, there's no way that you can tell me that DJ LeMahieu has the potential to be the best third baseman on the team.
No.
Now I know that that's a line that Booney would give me in a press conference,
of course,
because that's what he does, and he's that kind of manager, and he's the rah-rah. I'm gonna go for my players or whatever. Not our rah-rah. Our rah-rah is a real one. Shouts out to you.
Facts.
He's a different type of rah-rah where he's like, yeah, go team, and he picks up the pom poms, and he's like, this is our guy and whatever, and that works for some players. It does. It works for some, but in reality, we're calling a spade here. He's not the guy, and they know he's not the guy. This is why it's being reported that they're talking to the Cardinals about Arenado. You wouldn't even be having these conversations if you believed that DJ LeMahieu was still that guy. But you got a kid in Peraza who's never been given a fair shot, and you have a team that's full of veterans this year. Cody Bellinger's not a kid. Aaron Judge is not a kid.
Volpe's not anymore either. When it comes to major leagues, this is what, year 3?
Volpe's going into year 3.
Yeah, he's
Austin
been there.
Wells is going into year 2. You can call him a kid, and Dominguez is going into first full year. That's it. If you added a third kid in there, would it be the worst possible thing? I don't think so.
Look, if you had a kid at first base, I might say, that I could understand. But you got
Ben Rice at first already, right?
Exactly.
And I would say, all right, now we're doing a little too much.
You got a big time veteran. You got a Gold Glove winner at first base that still played very good defense last year.
Also, you have the fallback if Peraza doesn't work.
Correct.
If he doesn't work.
Exactly.
And if we get into it's mid-May. It's mid-May, and he's not even batting his weight. He's under the Mendoza line. He's 190, 180 something, and it's mid-May heading towards June now. Okay. Well, you got DJ right there.
Yeah.
You got DJ right there.
And that's a great point. That's a great point. So we're gonna see how that plays out, but we got to talk about this comment about Gleyber Torres again. And, I stuck up for Gleyber a little bit, but now I almost want to take that back because he dropped the ball yet again. It's kind of just something that Gleyber, he can't keep his head in the game. It's a problem that Gleyber Torres has. Look, I've been up and down with Gleyber Torres for years. Brian Cashman, as you guys heard, basically said that when they got Jazz, his idea was Jazz would be the second baseman of the Yankees and Gleyber will move to third base. Now, whether you agree with that or not, I know I don't. I already seen Gleyber on the left side of the infield, so I completely disagree with Brian Cashman. I agree with Aaron Boone on this side that I'd rather just let Jazz play because Jazz is very athletic. He's an extremely athletic guy, and I was worried about him playing third. I admit it. He proved me wrong really quickly. I was like, that concerns me. But if the Yankees said, hey, Jazz is going to get the chance to be the third baseman and we got a good second baseman, I'd say, okay, I have no problem with that. I'm not concerned about Jazz learning third base. I'd rather him at second base this year, but I wouldn't be concerned with him playing third. He basically says, and again, more bad communication from the Yankees. I made that deal knowing this. Well, you didn't check in with your manager before that? So it kind of feeds to he's a puppet. I make the decisions and he'll do what he wants. Now, ultimately, it seems like he got his decision the way he wanted because Gleyber didn't want to move. I mean, you also didn't check in with the player before you made the deal, which is something you would think you would do with great communication, right? It's kind of odd to me. But Gleyber put out a tweet responding to this. He was basically along the lines of saying, turn the page, bro. Like, why are you still talking about me?
Exactly.
Like, just turn the page. I moved on to Detroit. I'm no longer a Yankee. Why are you bringing this stuff up again, saying, hey, he didn't want to move? To be fair, Gleyber did not want to move. That came out of the moment. He said, I'm a second baseman. He said, I'm a second baseman.
He said it himself. I'm a second baseman.
So my problem here is that, look, Brian Cashman's not liked among players. If anybody wants to say, hey, Pete, I don't know, read up what Derek Jeter has said about him. Relive the situation of Aaron Judge. The two most prominent Yankees over the last 15 years or so, Judge and Jeter, don't like the guy. The type of stuff he does is very snaky. There's been conversations of please keep this in-house, and he goes right to the media. He's done this with Derek. He done it with Aaron. So is Brian Cashman my, everybody's favorite? No. But Gleyber lost me here because early on he won me, and I said, good for him. Good for him. You should stick up for your name. All right, guys, look, I'm gone. You still got to talk about me. I'm gone. I'm living life.
And it's not like it was a secret. He said it to the media himself.
Correct. And he also put out on his story, I caught this. He was like, prospering. I'm good. And it was like.
He said, yeah.
Was that what he said?
So, well, on the story, he put, it was sarcasm. So the word that he put was preocupado, which in Spanish means worried. But it was a picture of him just chilling. Meaning like, I'm unbothered. I'm not worried about this
Correct. Shit. And I figured I put two and two together there on that. So he did that. But he took the tweet down. And I'm sitting there saying, brother, you still can't keep your head in the game, can you? So I highly doubt, like Detroit said, hey, take that. We don't need. No, I know that didn't happen. I guarantee that they don't give a shit. This is a social media world.
They don't care.
My problem with him on this is, brother, keep your friggin' head in the game, stick to your word, and keep it there. But again, like your defense, you drop the ball. And that's my problem with this. Keep your friggin' head in the game, stick to your word, say, look, turn the damn page. Leave me alone. I'm good.
I was 100% with Gleyber too. We spoke about this, before we went live.
Until this show going live, I was on Gleyber's side until I found out he deleted it.
Literally. When Pete said, I think he deleted it, and I was like, wait, huh? And Pete said, no, I'm going to be fair. Let me go confirm or whatever. I want to make sure before we go live and say something that's not true. And he went and checked, and he deleted it. And I think the issue that I have with him deleting it is just like, Gley, hermano, stand on business. You don't owe the team nothing. You don't owe Cashman nothing. You don't owe Boone nothing. You don't owe nobody here. You don't owe anybody here anything. You don't. Because when your chance came for free agency, this team didn't do you no favors.
That's right.
They didn't even extend you a qualifying offer, my brother. Yo, you're in your mid-20s. You still have potential through the roof. Yes, there's questions about the mental. There's questions about, some of the stuff defensively, whatever. But in terms of offensive potential, nobody ever questioned you on that. Even with your struggles, nobody questioned you on that, right? You're supposed to be a player that's before their prime still, okay? And this team did zero to help you in free agency. Okay. Yep. Don't tell me, oh, well, at the outset of free agency, Cashman said, he's a good player and whatever like that. Listen, Cashman said what he had to say to not get fined, okay? Because
Right.
if you say anything
Right.
disparaging about a player who's a free agent, you can get fined.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what Cashman did. Gleyber had no reason to delete it. He should have just stood on business. Like,
Stay on business. That's right. Keep
I
your head in the
said it
game.
myself. You don't got to bring it up now, Cashman, as if you're bringing up new information. I said it to the media myself. And look,
Yeah.
he took his lumps when he said that shit. Because a lot of people, I was one of the people who came out after he said it. Like, look, my brother, but you're not in the position to determine where you play.
Exactly.
That was my response in the season when he said, "Well, I'm a second baseman." I was like, "Yeah, well, Gleyber, guess what? You're not a good second baseman. And you're not hitting right now. And you're a free agent at the end of the year. So with those three things, yeah, my brother, you play what we tell you to play." What this also does for me, and we spoke about this before we went live, though, when I hear this, because people are like, they're pushing it to Gleyber and then whatever like that too. To me, this says a lot more about that communication that you brought up.
Facts.
Because, like you said, you traded for Jazz to be the second baseman. That was the plan. Why was it that Gleyber Torres, a free agent in a few months, was able to throw off your whole plan?
Facts.
How? It doesn't make sense to me. Not Aaron Judge, not Juan Soto, not
Gleyber
Garrett
Torres.
Cole, not Carlos Rodon. Gleyber Torres was able to upend a plan.
Yep.
And this is not no light trade. We sent Agustin Ramirez to the Marlins for Jazz.
Yep.
A good package to Miami. A package that in some circles, some people are going to tell you, hey, the Marlins might have won that trade. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that I love Jazz.
Not yet. Yeah, not
I like
yet.
Jazz a lot. I'm not there. Guess what, though? If Ramirez looks like Ramirez is supposed to look, and we know better than anybody that he has the potential to do it, a lot of people will circle back and say, damn, that was a really good trade from Miami. The Yankees traded important pieces in this trade. This wasn't just this was a big deal. How do you let that big deal get upended by a guy that you don't even plan to give a qualifying offer to in 2 months? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Agreed.
Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they're just, and I'm there with you on the whole communication side of things. That's been one of the biggest problems I've been one of the loudest voices on when it comes to the Yankees about their lack thereof communication. They just do a poor job with it. But that's my thing. That's my thing with Gleyber.
Do you believe that? Because that was my other thing with it.
No.
You could call me. You could say conspiracy theorist or be a negative or whatever. I don't believe that Cashman made the trade and Boone said, "Oh, I want it the other way." I'm sorry. Whatever.
Again, I think it was Gleyber who changed that. Honestly, I think they were just like, you know what, we're not going to handle that. Let's just go to Jazz, see what he says, and Jazz is like, put me anywhere, I don't care. That's what I believe happened.
What you just said. That's how I think it. That's exactly
100%.
how I think it went. I think 100%. It was like,
they obviously
Gleyber
they approached Gleyber.
Yeah, they said, you know what? Let's talk to Jazz, and if Jazz is cool, then this whole shit blows over. Right? We don't have to deal with it. And I think that's what happened. Jazz was just like, Jazz was Jazz with his energy. And he was just like, I'll play anywhere. I don't care. You want me to play third? I'll play third. Let's go. He went to third, no problem. And he looked pretty damn good over there. And it was okay. Water under the bridge for the most part. But I think even the fact that Cashman brought that up in that conversation, that's what kind of tells me that, like, nah, like, y'all were not okay with that. You guys hired Boone because 99% of the time he's in lockstep with what you guys want to do. So it's hard for me to believe that you traded for Jazz to be the second baseman, and Boone was the one that was like, I actually see him as a third base, even though he's
never happened.
Played there.
Never happened. I agree. I don't buy that one.
And I know
bit,
that's not going to endear us to Aaron Boone or whatever.
I don't give a shit.
It's just like, bro. But at the same time, like, it's like you can't blatantly lie to me and like just think I want to be like, yeah, that sounds right.
We're not those guys.
It doesn't sound right to me. It doesn't.
Yeah, we're not those guys. Luis Alvarez says, I don't really understand what you guys are going on about right now. They were trying to win a World Series with Soto, knowing they were dumping him and Holmes. Yeah, it went right over your head. But we're talking about, brother. We're not. When you're talking about something completely different that we're not even discussing. We're not talking about how it benefited the team. We're not talking about any of that. We're not talking about Gleyber being the best option at second base. We're not talking about none of that whatsoever. It just completely flew over your head, what we're talking about here. Maybe you joined late. I don't know, but potentially. But
and that's a good comment by Chris Charlton. See, Jazz in this equation, Jazz had the winner's mentality.
Facts. And he's the guy you want to keep long term. in that regard, because you remember that stuff now. Those are things you remember. Gleyber, look, we've always had our ups and downs of Gleyber Torres, and at the end of the day, it's obviously time. It was definitely, everybody knew we were moving on from him. We knew we were moving on, but let's go ahead and get into the voicemails, folks. Here we go.
Hey, Peter Francis. How you doing? To the UWO. The people's champ is in the house.
Yeah.
Spring training is mere moments away, and Trash Can decides to trip down memory lane and call out Gleyber Torres like a full pencil Nick Caproni. But he could have traded him the entire time and got a real third baseman. So she gets elbow dropped on a Friday. Except this Friday, you know what's up. I'm crispy and clean, mean and lean, coast to coast. Suckers get thrown through the ring ropes. That's dope. Another trophy on the shelf. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. I'm compiling hits. Suckers are the shits, elbow dropping goons like it's 1996. I got bars about weed, sex, money, and cars, plus to step up and catch a case of SARS. Drop the bombs with lyrical precision, spitting the rhymes that make you find religion, Same person without sweating more Harrison. Macho King OG's a very competitive person, So to the underground in Macho Kingdom 2025, same person on 329. To all my macho maniacs, total pandemonium freak out. And to all my macho mamas and grandmas. Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Match out!
Yo, man, this man drops balls like the NYU mixtape is gonna be phenomenal, bro. Macho drops bars, bro.
That was
this man.
I love the shout out to the event. That was
the guy's fight, bro.
Yo, he brought
Macho drops bombs.
I forgot SARS was even a thing.
Me too.
He brought that back. I mean, man, this and Jira right in the chat with the link in case y'all haven't gotten tickets yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, get your tickets, guys. What are you guys waiting for, man? Come on, Audi Club's gonna be insane.
That was a dope freestyle. You know what? And it's been a while since I got in. I forgot because you guys were here last week, so it was we were on different type of time. So yeah, man, it was nice. That was a dope freestyle, Mach. Appreciate it.
Unbelievable. Let's get to the next one.
Hey, good morning, Pete, Francis here. Happy Friday, y'all. William Henry here. Hey, regarding the Cashman interview, I wish someone had reminded him that the team is still paying Aaron Hicks $10 million salary for this year, and that's just as much of a reason why we're up against the salary threshold as the Stroman situation. That said, I do want to give Cashman and the management credit for a really good offseason, the best I've seen in years. We're more balanced, we have a deeper lineup, and our pitching is better. I said it in the chat the other day. The way I look at it is we might score 50 runs less this year than last year, but we might prevent and save 150 runs with our better pitching and defense. So that really is a championship formula in my belief. Last thing I want to say is just remind people that from tomorrow, it's only 7 weeks to 329 in the NYU event. Can't wait. So excited. Hope everybody gets a chance to go. Take care. Bye.
Oh, William Henry, one of my favorite voicemails out there. That man is right to the point, locked in, ready to go. Before we move on, I just want to ball the Jira real quick.
Uh-oh.
So we made a deal.
I see.
Because I didn't have the bat. We didn't get a chance to hook up with Victus this time we came down there. So I do have El Nino here with me.
Oh,
I do have El Nino here. We made a deal. She's going to get mad. She's like, you can't keep holding the bat, though. You got to leave it there. But I got El Nino, baby. I have the power.
She's on her way up. She's on her way downstairs
I got
right
the
now.
power of Fernando right here in my hands. Let me go ahead and get the. Before she comes down, I'm gonna put it away because I don't want to get yelled at. But I do like to show everybody the new additions. And yeah, shout out to Victus, the Bat King. Look at this, guys. This is Fernando Tatis. Look at how crazy this is.
Come on.
So just a shout out again to Bruce.
There's only one place
Victus.
we can get anything like that.
You also got the El Nino written right
Check
there.
that out.
So it is an unbelievable bat. So let's go ahead and get to the next voicemail.
Hey, Pete. Johnny Riv, Baltimore. Hope you're staying warm. Excited for you going down to spring training and showing us everything that's going on. Love some of these prospects. I watched that Cashman interview yesterday on the Yes Network. And, you know, this guy's been around for a long time. He's seen the dynasty years where it was a balanced lineup. But he hasn't done anything yet. He's tried and tried and tried and won championship. That's it.
Yep.
Go back to the balanced lineup. I think that's where we're headed. You know, you've got a balanced lineup. We got a superstar in Aaron Judge, but we got some lefties. We got some righties. The rotation, we got some lefties. We got some righties. Bullpen, we need a lefty or two, but that bullpen is good. That rotation looks good.
Yep.
We got patient contributors. Up the middle, the defense, I think is going to be great. You got Volpe and Jazz, maybe Bellinger in center. Wells is definitely emerging as a defensive catcher. Man, I think we're going to be all right. I think this team, with one more piece, and it doesn't have to be a superstar, you know, to plug in at third base, consistent contributor. Hey, we could be pretty good. You know, and even Stroman, I believe something that Brian Cashman said about Stroman was, you know, the defense let him down a couple times last year.
It did.
Yeah, maybe a win or two more, you know. We'll see. Maybe that win or two more allows us to trade him. But anyway, you know I love listening to this place. NYYU. Real talk for the real fan. Love hearing everyone's opinion, Pete. Thank you for all you do. You're the best.
Thank you, brother.
The U, baby. The U, baby.
Hey, man, nothing like the U. You already know that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got some better news for you guys. If you love the U, you want some better news? Bronx are nothing tonight.
Hey.
Bronx are nothing tonight. It's probably going to be like a 9:30 start time. We're going to go a little later tonight.
Yeah,
but look, we got a lot to
Friday, so they be all right.
Nah, we still got a lot to talk about. So it's your Friday night. Grab a beer. Look, it's Super Bowl weekend coming up. Grab a beer, relax, chill with us tonight. We're going to have a lot to discuss, man. You know, when me, Kevin, Francis are together, it's always wild. It's going to be amazing. So make sure you guys are tuned in for that tonight. Again, 9:30 start time. I can't friggin' wait for it. Bronx and nothing tonight, man. It's going to be unreal. You guys are the best. You guys are the best.
Another, man. That's just going to be fire today, baby. We got so much to cover. And who knows? Maybe something happens in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got all the rest of the day. We'll have something to talk about. Cool thing is we actually just hit 41,800 subs. Literally on the dot. We just hit that. So
look at that.
200 away from 42,000 already, as the year has not even started yet. And like I said, guys, I am hard at work in making our presentation look unbelievable this year. Wait till you guys. I gave Discord a little preview of Game Season Live and Post-Game Season Live yesterday. Yeah. Guys, it looks amazing. Like, I'm not even trying to toot my own horn here. It looks absolutely phenomenal. You guys are really in for a treat this year. And I just can't wait for games to get started. You know what I mean? I can't wait for games to get started. The next time me, Francis, and Kev will be together, Jira, we'll be in spring training. We'll be in Tampa. So can't wait for that. That's coming up here very, very soon. And after that is the event. So again, if you have not got your tickets to NYYU Day, I'm going to be real with you guys. I don't know what you're waiting for. Get your tickets today. Do not wait. It is an experience. Forget acting like, hey, I'm going to a game. I get it. I always say this. Yankee Stadium's the venue. We're the party. Yankee Stadium's the venue. We're the party, man.
For sure. Yankee Stadium isn't Yankee Stadium without the fans, and an NYYU event isn't an NYYU event without the community. So that is why we constantly remind you guys. Jira sends that link, like, bro, because we want you guys to be there. Without you guys, man, it's not the same. We together are a powerful unit in that stadium, and they know, which is why they're allowing us to do this on opening weekend. Let's not wait. Why wait? Why wait around? Why mess around? Listen, they are coming to coming to the stadium. Let's just give the fans what they want. Opening weekend, baby. Game 2. Max Fried, most likely. Let's give the people
if all goes well.
Yes.
Max Fried's first start. And let me tell you something, Rick. Let me tell you something real quick.
That's some fire right there.
We're gonna get a W.
I'm
stating it right now. We're getting a W. This is the year.
This is
because
the win.
2025 is the year of the U.
This is the win.
We got you, New York.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you get that? We got you, New York.
Yes, sir.
I just translated that, so you bet your fucking ass we do. That was the translation of what I just said. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we got the rest of the night with you guys. 9:30. You better be there. The Bronx or nothing. Me, Francis, Kev.
Don't miss it.
Gonna probably, in my opinion, might be the #1 show this year overall. So with that being said, peace out. BX or nothing 9:30. We're going to see you guys over there. Maybe Stroman's traded us something. We'll have even more to talk about, but we'll find out here momentarily. Peace out, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.
Then watch me do it again. Tell them I can't take no loss. My team hold no L's, no. Aiming for the top, can't make it by myself. I ain't taking no loss. I ain't taking no loss. Look, I'm a